Our refrigerator died last night, and it turns out it's this thing. It's known as the overload relay, and also it's connected to the starter capacitor. And unfortunately, I wish I would have thought of this at the moment, but you know your part's broken actually if you take it out and you shake it and it starts rattling. What happens is there's a little disc in here between these two contacts that cracks. What's in there is positive temperature coefficient material. Once it heats up, it disconnects the two poles here, which I guess changes the connection of the capacitor from shorted to in series with the compressor windings. And when I opened it up, all this junk fell out. It was actually a nice little disc, and I realized at that time that I needed a new part. We went out and drove about 2 hours to borrow a fridge from a friend, and then it hit me this morning that if I have a chunk that's big enough and I wedge it between the contacts, it should still work. And so this is what we're going to try to do. It's been wedged between the two contacts in there. And I'll have to put my phone down for a sec here, put everything back together. That connects right to the side of the capacitor in there, the compressor. I wish I had more light in here. There we go. And so, again, make sure your fridge is unplugged before you do this. It would not be a good thing to get electrocuted. And so, power's plugged back in. And so the live wire goes through an overload relay that detects overload conditions of the compressor and disconnects it. The white wire is split on the two poles of the capacitor, and the positive temperature coefficient material will short it out temporarily to kick the compressor on. Usually, the way we found out this wasn't working, obviously, was that the fridge wasn't working, and when I opened it up, the compressor wasn't turning on. It was burning hot because it was in a stalled condition. So if we plug it in now, you should hear the compressor kick on if everything works. So we're running. So hopefully this can help somebody else. I wish I would have thought of it at the time. So when I've got a fridge that'll work, as long as that piece doesn't crack more, it should give me a couple of days to get a replacement part in the way. I've wedged it in a way that gravity should hold it in place so it shouldn't fall out. You got to remember that when these things heat up, they will move around, and so at some point would fall out of the contacts and probably cause another stall condition. So this is only a temporary solution, but it is working.